So welcome to No Stupid Question.
Hello, everybody.
This week, welcome.
It's for real.
It's for real.
TLeake
like,
and
rah,
JAG.
rah, like a dungeon drag. What's up?
No specific order.
I love it.
No Stupid Question show.
Can we curse on the show?
Just do whatever we
It's for
feel.
real.
Tanya,
Okay.
your question for today
No.
is
All right.
stupid.
So,
Question.
No more to another episode
What's the name
of
of
No
the show,
Stupid
Jay?
Questions.
No
Jack.
Stupid Question.
I'm sorry.
Welcome to this episode of
My first question is, who are you?
No Stupid Questions.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the No Stupid Questions show, the show where you have two smart people, and I have TLeake with me,
What's up, y'all?
and I'm Jag, and we have one stupid question, or so we thought. TLeake, how you feeling today?
I'm okay. We actually may have two, sort of a stupid question inside a stupid question.
What?
It's a, yeah.
Is this a riddle? I'm not sure I'm ready for a riddle.
So this is, in the engineering speak, this is a recursive.
Ooh,
Oh.
ooh. That's probably the same thing in English too, huh? Recursive question. I don't know. Let's go.
Yes, okay. Well, the stupid question for today is asking if someone is racist a stupid question?
Is asking someone if they're
Is asking if I said to you, are your colleagues at work racist? Is that a stupid question?
Oh, not asking the person, asking about other people.
Yes.
I don't know how to answer that.
We're supposed to be two smart people. Come on, bro.
Yeah, so it's, it depends on who you're asking about whether or not it's a stupid question or not.
Oh.
But I'm going to say, yes, it is a stupid question.
Okay. And I would say yes too, but from your first answer, I think it's for different reasons. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
No, I want you to start because I need to think about what I'm going to say before I jump in here.
Well, no, I don't want to, because you took it at face value and I've been digesting it.
Well, I'm not sure I took it at face.
Give me your first, what your first interpretation of it was and why you said
Well, so actually I first interpreted it as if you were asking that person, are you racist?
Well, let me ask you, is that a stupid question?
Yes, that's
to
a
ask
stupid
someone.
question.
Why?
Yes. Because only the meanest and hateful of racist people are going to admit that they're racist.
Oh.
A lot of people are racist and don't know that they're racist.
Okay.
Or don't think that they're racist.
Okay. So the real question is asking someone if somebody else is racist. Is that a stupid question? And how did you take that one? You seem to be.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to take that one. That's why I'm saying it's a stupid question. Why would you ask that question? I'm going to just say it's a stupid question. I'm going to let you answer. And then I'm going to come around to saying something. Hopefully, before we close this show, I'm going to come around to saying something that's worth something.
All right. Well, I will say I was watching a talk show and they were interviewing a politician from a rural district. And the interviewer asked this person, and I'll tell you who it is if you really want to know, but it doesn't really matter.
I don't really want to know.
Asked the politician if the people in that district, particularly the other representatives, other politicians, were racist, because of the rural nature, largely Republican, etc. There were some, I guess, things that made that person think that, and the person paused, and I actually thought the answer that the person gave was actually very, very good. But the thing that I thought about was, is that the right question to ask? Because just as the point of our show is that, although the point of our show is that there are no stupid questions, that one is a stupid question. That's why I said recursive. I think that for our purposes in this moment of our society, asking if someone is a racist is polarizing, it's defensiveness creating, and and you know, everyone knows that it's not correct to be a racist, so everyone is going to blanch at that. And it is, as you were saying, it's kind of, if you're an extreme person, you know, you're not, unless you're extreme, you're not going to admit to it. And everyone has a slightly different definition of racism. So that's a whole nother thing.
Right.
So I do think generally my belief is that we've got to be better about communicating on some of these really polarizing issues, and these sort of simplistic questions that don't really make any headway are stupid.
So then you have to dig a little deeper, because maybe the person was asking the question to be polarizing. Maybe they were asking the question to be polarizing and generate interest and intrigue. I don't know how that does that, but so maybe you have to go to why the person asked the question that they asked. If they're selling advertisements, then maybe it's not a stupid question, because that's the kind of question that's going to get ears and eyeballs.
Interesting. I would agree with what you're saying. And my answer was definitely in the context of, do you want to achieve something truly meaningful? And I have to say that in the current stage of my life, I do not believe that selling commercials is meaningful for a discourse. But, you know.
Some people feel like they have to do that to put food on their table.
Yes, I would still say that is not the way to you know, talk about the housewives of whatever, of blank. Take your pick. That still gets a lot of traffic and a lot of eyeballs and a lot of interest. But we've got a serious problem in this country. And to use it as a tool to generate revenue it's probably more than stupid.
Be careful.
How so?
Because their whole industry is built on what you're saying is stupid. Okay. Or at least a industry is built on what you're saying is stupid.
What industry is that?
Media.
I know. Media is pretty stupid. I'm going to go out on a limb. As someone who is doing a podcast, generally,
which is a form
media
of media,
is,
obviously.
yes, but and I'm not saying everybody, generally media is stupid. We definitely, media caters to the basest of some of our, tendencies for eyeballs and clicks and all of those things. And so, I could probably use a different word than stupid, but for now, that will do.
Yeah, I guess it's in the title of our show, so we can wear it out. but let me ask you this. There was a time when the press was considered an essential part of our society. It informed people, it warned people, it educated people. Do you think the press is playing that role, and do you think they're playing it correctly? Because I'm assuming you weren't just talking about the media when you talked about this interview and the person that may have asked the question. I'm assuming you were talking about a press outlet. I may be wrong about that.
So now it's interesting, because I was going to ask you, how do you differentiate press and media? Because I guess in my mind there is a differentiation, but I don't know, maybe there isn't for you.
In my mind, there's a different. I mean, some things are obviously for entertainment value, and there is no representation that truth is anywhere in it,
or any kind of smartness as the opposite of stupid. It's meant to be stupid.
Sometimes it's meant to be stupid.
And stupid has its place.
Right. Dumb and Dumber was a funny movie to me, parts anyway.
Okay, well, we may have to have a show about that, because I don't know that you should be putting that in the public.
I'm not saying I'm endorsing the movie. I just thought that was something everybody could relate to. But the news is supposed to, and I'm saying this and I'm hesitating because our news is so slanted. It obviously seems agenda oriented. But there was a time when the news, the press, and when I say press, I mean reporting of the news, was thought to be an essential part of our society.
I believe that is where we have gone astray.
Well, I mean, for example,
run amok. I've been having this is the second show where I'm using a Malcolm X, at least from the book quote. Who knows?
All right, TLeake X. But we used to make fun or look down on societies like Russia because they didn't have freedom of the press. And I guess our press is still free, but
so I think that we have blurred the line, and that's
lines.
That's oh goodness, we just now we're quoting Robin Thicke.
Yeah, let's keep it moving.
And we've talked about this. We've talked about a post-fact society.
Right.
We are in and you know, the rise of these social media. So I think it's interesting you use the word media. I think there's social media and this concept of crowdsourcing, which means you just get it from anywhere. It's not a vetted, credentialed, trained, regulated news source. It is all sources all the time. And what that creates is a lot of chaos and noise that is not smart and in a lot of cases witty. Sometimes it's stupid witty. Dumb and Dumber was not.
Dumb and Dumber was definitely not. I agree with that.
So I think that what's interesting is this question might have been there might have been a different answer for me, to your point, maybe in the 60s.
We wouldn't have got an answer from you in the 60s.
I don't. We wouldn't have been able to do this show in the 60s. Anyway,
you're right about that.
So I feel like we have crossed over into this world of, to your point, media that does not have the same news that's fit to print worthiness. And so as a result, you know, we have more of this. So when you said, isn't media important to our democracy, to, you know, and we used to talk about Russia and the freedom of the press. And there used to be a better line between free speech and the press. Right. And what you would call the news media.
Right.
With social media, those things got very blurred.
So there's no such thing as journalistic integrity anymore. There's no such thing as verifying sources before you report it.
There is, but that's getting it's getting muddled. I do believe that there is. I do believe there are people who have journalistic integrity, it is important to them to verify their sources, but there's no hierarchy where they're at the top. It's really, and so is, you know, People magazine. I mean, you know,
for the juggler, you just went straight to People magazine.
Sorry, People. I mean, they probably try to verify maybe more than the Star. I don't know, but I feel like
you name a name.
I'm just trying to give examples.
I understand.
And what's interesting is, I don't know, do the people at some of the things that so I won't name any more names, some of the quote unquote tabloids,
right?
Do they think that they are at the level of the more commonly known news outlets, press outlets, or, you know, I don't know, maybe TMZ, I couldn't help it.
Well, you would have to think the tabloids understand that their mission
is that a stupid question?
their bar to write a story is a little different than the Wall Street Journal, New York Times. You would think.
Oh, now I got you naming names.
Now you got me naming names. We're just gonna put them all out there.
Well, I think that's so interestingly enough, if you map our question onto this whole,
and I have a whole nother angle I wanted to go to. So let's go map the question.
Okay, back to the question, then we can get your angle. So if you map this question, if, for instance, the tabloids say this person is a racist, versus the other two sort of folks that you talked about who are considered more, again, journalistic integrity, blah, 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 it's called someone a racist. I think at this point, I don't feel like you would hold one above the other. So that's why this question of asking if someone is a racist, there's more about, you gotta sort of unfold that and untangle it and get into the facts. Like you said, what are the verifiable facts? Where's the integrity? Because I think there's too much of this mix between social media and news media in the way that we want to honor to keep our democracy running. Okay. What's your angle as you process that?
I'm still processing the question, which means it's a good question. It may be a stupid one, but it's a good question. So another reason why I don't think you should ask people if someone is racist, if someone else is racist, is because I guess it's not unrelated to what we said earlier, but that's a question that you look for an answer for. You don't listen for an answer for. And what I mean is people would tell you anything on that question, but their actions are really going to give you the answer that you're seeking. So if you have to ask that question, it's a waste of time. It's a stupid question because it's a waste of time. The answer means nothing. You really got to watch the actions of the people that you're inquiring about.
Well, and actually, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought up this angle, because that was part of one of the things that I asked myself, because in all honesty, again, this politician she was a Democrat that was voted Republican in a rural Republican county. So she was successful in where she would not. And part of the thing was she said that she actually talked to people and made space for commonalities. And I guess I feel like we've, again, gotten to this polarized point in the world where, and I say the world, our nation, is one example, but it's happening a lot more globally, is that we look at what someone does and we make a judgment. And we don't have the difficult conversations. And that is potentially going to be our downfall. So that's another reason why I think it's a stupid question, because I think, to your point, I think there are questions that can be asked and conversations that can be had that go way beyond just asking the quote unquote simple question.
Right.
That someone might think is simple and I'm saying is stupid. Is that person a racist? To your point, there are actions, but those actions could be rooted in a lot of other things.
That's true.
And that's where I really think we are at a tipping point where if we don't start being more conversational about this stuff that we're observing, that people are doing, that habits that people have that sometimes they're not even conscious of, and just making assumptions and writing people off, which is what most people do when they find out that, quote unquote, someone's racist, someone calls them racist, and I think that, that's a problem.
So that sounds like what you're saying is that question would be a conclusory question.
Oh boy.
I might have just made that up.
Oh, I thought it was illegal too. I was like, that must have been your lawyer speak. Oh, okay.
No,
you just made that up.
And we should ask more exploratory questions so we could get the true meaning of people and what they're thinking, as opposed to trying to just get to take the shortcut and just get to the final answer.
Yes, and I like your word conclusory. I'm all about making up words, as you know.
Well, conclusory is a word.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if conclusory question is a phrase, but anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wrote it down so that I.
It is now.
So yes, I would agree with you. Exploratory is the order of the day. And to me, it would be the call to action based on this discussion is that it doesn't tell you much. Even if it told you about their actions, it doesn't tell you about certainly the intention,
Right.
but also, kind of just the background and the experience of that person. I'm reminded of the Four Agreements, great book. If anybody hasn't read it, an opportunity to be, my latest word that I made up, by the way, was reflectful, which I love. If you want an opportunity,
It's hard to say.
Reflectful.
Reflectful. Yeah.
That must be with your
Southern
Louisiana accent, because I didn't have any problems.
I get tongue tied.
So anyway, so yes, so I think that is true. Conclusory versus exploratory.
Seek to understand.
Yes. Seek to overstand.
Ooh.
Another word.
And if you tell us what previous show that's from, you get a prize. So just email us and let us know where overstanding came from. And your prize will be forthcoming.
Yes, yes. So there's lots of shows that you can take a listen to and get some background on some earlier thoughts on this type of topic. Whether or not we can get over racism, whether or not our democracy is falling apart, which again, as I mentioned, this is a tipping point. I think it's really important that we have these exploratory conversations to save the how people get together and discuss and dialogue in order to move a people-driven institution forward. So that's where I am. So where do we land up on the same side ultimately?
I think we did. We said asking someone if people are racist is a stupid question.
Go deeper.
No stupid question show.
You can ask any question that you want, or don't ask no stupid ass questions.